Okay, let me pull down this volume. Yeah, that's probably good. Homer, the Iliad. I gotta take this. I can hear myself. I gotta take that off. There we go. Okay. Jeez. There's an introduction. We're just gonna skip. There's a bibliography. Also gonna skip. It says there's a poem, it looks like in Greek. In the edition of a Pelicon, the opening line of the poem was given in the form that it's in this language. And in the place of lines 1 through 9, some ancient texts gave, and then there's other ancient lines. I don't know what that means. Okay. The Iliad, Book 1. The wrath do thou sing, O goddess of Peleus, son Achilles, that baneful wrath which brought countless woes upon the Achaeans, and sent forth to Hades many valiant souls of warriors, and made themselves to be a spoil for dogs and all manner of birds. And thus the will of Zeus was being brought to fulfillment. Sing thou thereof from the time when at the first there parted in strife Atreus' son, king of men, and godly Achilles. Who then of the gods was it that brought these two together to contend? The son of Leto and Zeus, for he in wrath against the king roused throughout the host an evil pestilence, and the folk were perishing for that upon the man Chrysis, his priest, had the son of Atreus wrought dishonor, or he had come to the swift ships of the Achaeans to free his daughter, and he bore with him ransom trust counting, and in his hands he held the fillets, the Apollo that smiteth afar on the staff of gold, and he made prayer to all the Achaeans, but most of all to the two sons of Atreus, the marshallers of the most. Ye sons of Atreus, and ye other well-grieved Achaeans, to you may the gods who have of Priam and return safe to your homes. But my ear child do ye set free for me, and accept the ransom out of awe for the sons of Zeus, Apollo, that smiteth afar. Then all the rest of Achaeans shouted assent, adding reverence the priest, and accepted the glorious sum. Yet the thing pleased not the heart of Agamemnon, son of Atreus, but he sent him away harshly, and laid upon him a stern command. Let me not find thee, old man, by the hollow ships, either tarrying now or coming back hereafter, lest thy staff and the fillet of the god protect thee not. But her will I not set free, ere that shall old age come upon her in our house, and Argos far from her country, as she walks to and fro before the loom and tends my couch. Nay, get thee gone, anger me not, that so thou mayest go the safer. So he spake, and the old man was seized with fear, and hearkened to his word. Forth he went in silence along the shore, of the loud resounding sea. And earnestly thereafter, when he had gone apart, did the old man pray to the prince Apollo, whom fair-haired Leto bare. Hear me, thou of the silver bow, who dost stand over Chryse and holy Scylla, and dost rule mightily over Tenedos, thou Sminthean. If ever I roofed over a shrine to thy pleasing, or if ever I burned to thee fat high priests of bulls or goats, fulfill thou for me this prayer. Let the Danaans pay for my tears by thy shafts. So he spake in prayer, and Phoebus Apollo heard him. Down from the peaks of Olympus he strode wroth at heart, bearing on his shoulders his bow and covered quiver. The arrows rattled on the shoulders of the angry god as he moved, and his coming was like the night. Then he sate him down apart from the ships and let fly a shaft. Terrible was the twang of the silver bow. The mules he assailed first, and the swift dogs. But thereafter on the men themselves he let fly his stinging arrows and smote, and ever did the pyres of the dead burn thick. For 9 days space did the missiles of the god fare throughout the host, but on the 10th Achilles let call the folks to the place of gathering, for so had the goddess white-armed Hera put in his heart, since she pitied the Danaans, for that she them dying. So, when they were assembled, met together, among them arose and spake Achilles, swift of foot, son of Atreus, now methinks shall we be driven back and return with baffled purpose? Should we escape death, if so be that war and pestilence alike are to waste the Achaeans? Nay, come, let us ask some seer or priest, yea, or some reader of dreams, for a dream too is from Zeus, who may happy tell us for what cause Phoebus Apollo hath conceived such anger, whether it because of a vow that he blames us, or of a hecatomb, in hope that perchance he may accept the Savior of lambs and embellished goats, and be minded to ward off from us the pestilence. When he had thus spoken, he sate him down, and among the uprose Calchas, son of Thestor, far the best of diviners, who had acknowledged of all things that were, and that were to be, and that had been before, and who had gained the ships of the Achaeans to Ilios by his soothsaying that Phoebus Apollo had bestowed upon him. He with good intent addressed their gathering, and spake among them, Achilles, dear to Zeus, thou biddest me declare the wrath of Apollo that smiteth afar. Therefore I will speak, but do thou take thought, and swear that verily of a ready heart thou wilt defend me with word and with might of hand. For methinks I shall make wroth a man who rules mightily over the Argives, and whom the Achaeans obey. For mightier is a king when so he is wroth at baser man, if so be he swallow down his wrath for the one day, yet thereafter he cherishes resentment in the heart till he bring all to pass. Consider thou then, if thou wilt keep me safe. Then in answer to him speak Achilles, swift of foot. Take good heart and speak out what Oriel sower thou knowest, for by Apollo, dear to Zeus, to whom thou prayest, Calchas, and declarest oracle to the Danaans, no one while I live and have sight on the earth shall lay heavy hands on thee. Besides the hollow ships, no one of the whole host of the Danaans, not even if it be Agamemnon thou meanest, who now declares himself far the best of the Achaeans. Then the blameless seer took heart and spake, saying, It is not then because of a vow that he blames us, nor hecatomb, but because of the priest, to whom Agamemnon did dishonor, and did not release his daughter, nor accept the ransom. For this cause the God that smiteth afar has given woes. Yea, and will give them, nor will he drive off from the Danaans the loathly pestilence, until we give back to her father the bright-eyed maiden, unbought, unransomed, and led a sacred hecatomb to Christ. Then haply might we appease his wrath and persuade him. When he had thus spoken, he sate him down, and among them uprose the warrior, son of Atreus, wide-ruling Agamemnon, sore vexed, and with rage was his black heart wholly filled, and his eyes were like blazing fire. To Calchas first of all he spake, and his look boded bane. Prophet of evil, never yet hast thou spoken to me the thing that is good. Ever is evil dear to thy heart of prophecy, but a word of good hast thou never yet spoken, neither brought to pass. And now in the midst of the gathering of the Danaans thou utterest thy prophecies, and declarest that forsooth it is for this cause that the God that smiteth afar is bringing woes upon them, for that I would not accept the glorious ransom for the maid, the daughter of Chryses, seeing I am minded for rather to keep her in my home. For know you, I prefer her before Clytemnestra, my wedded wife, since she is no whit inferior to her, either in form, or in stature, or in mind, or anywise in handiwork. Yet even so I will give her back, if that be better. Rather would I have the folk safe than perishing. But for me do ye make ready a prize forthwith, that I may not alone of the Argives be without a prize, since this were not even seemingly. For ye all see this, that my prize goes from me otherwhere. Then in answer to him spake goodly Achilles, swift of foot, Most glorious son of Atreus, thou most covetous of all men, how shall the great-souled Achaeans give thee a prize? Not do we know of wealth laid up in common store, but whatsoe'er we took by pillage from the cities hath been apportioned, and it were not meet together these things back from the folk. Nay, do thou give her up at the god behest, and we Achaeans will recompense thee their fold and fourfold, if ever Zeus grant us to sack the well-walled city of Troy. Then in answer to him spake Lord Agamemnon, Not of this wise valiant thou art godlike. Achilles, do thou seek to beguile me by thy wit? For thou shalt not outstrip me nor persuade. Wouldest thou to the end that thou mayest thyself keep thy prize, yet have me abide thus in want, seeing thou bidest me give her back? Nay, if the great-souled Achaeans give me a prize, suiting it to my mind, that the recompense be equal. But if they give it not, then I will come myself, and take thy prize, or that of Asia, or that of Odysseus, will I seize and bear away. Wroth will be to whomsoever I shall come. Howbeit of these things will we take thought there hereafter. For this present let us launch a black ship into the bright sea, and therein gather a due tale of rowers, and place on board a hecatomb, and embark on it the fair-cheeked daughter of Chryses herself, and let one that is counselor take command. Aias, happily, Idomeneus, or godly Odysseus, or thou son of Peleus, of all. And most dread that thou mayest offer sacrifice and appease him that worketh afar. We're going to take a break. All right. And we're just moving along the Iliad here. It looks like we're on page 15. So we'll get going. Then with an angry glance from beneath his brows, bake to him Achilles swift of foot. Ah me, thou oath and shamelessness, thou of crafty mind, how shall any man of the Achaeans hearken to thy bidding with a ready heart, either to go on a journey or to sleight the main with warriors? I came not hither to fight by reason of the spearmen of Troy, seeing they were no whit at fault toward me. Never harried they any wise my nine kind or my horses, nor ever in deep build Thea, nurse of men, did they lay waste the reign, for full many things lie between us, shadowy mountains and sounding sea, but thee, thou shameless one, did we follow hither, that thou mightest be glad, seeking to win recompense for Menelaus, and for thee, thou dog-faced, at the hands of the Trojans. This thou regardest not, nor takest thought thereof, and forsooth thou threatenest that thou wilt thyself take from me the prize, wherefore I toiled such, and the sons of the Achaeans gave it to me. Have I prize like to thine? When the Achaeans back a well-peopled citadel of the Trojans, nay, the burnt of tumultuous war do my hands bear, but ever an apportionment cometh, thy prize is greater, while I go to my ships with some small thing, yet mine own when I am grown weary with fighting. How will I go hence to Thea, seeing it is better far to return home with my beaked ships, nor am I ended here in dishonour to draw thee thy fill of woods and wealth. Then made answer the king of men, Agamemnon. Yea, flee, if the hearts bid thee. I beg thee not to remain for my sake. With me are others that will do me honour, and above all Zeus, the Lord of counsel. Most hateful to me art thou of the kings of nurtured of Zeus, for even if strife dear to thee in wars and fightings. Though thou be very valiant, a god, I ween gave thee this. Get thee home with thy ships and thy men, and lord it over thy Myrmidons. For thee I care not, neither reck of thy wrath. And this shall be my threat to thee, seeing that Phoebus Apollo taketh me from me the daughters of Chrysis. Her with a ship of mine and man of mine will I send back. But I will myself come to thy hut and take the fair cheek bristles, that prize of thine, that thou mayest know full well how far mightier am I than thou, and another too may shrink from declaring himself my peer, and likening himself to me to my face. So he spake, and grief came upon the son of Peleus. And with his shaggy breast, his heart was divided, his shaggy breast. His heart was divided in counsel, whether he should draw his sharp sword from beside his thigh, and break up the gathering, and himself slay the son of Atreus, or should stay his wrath and curb his spirit. While he pondered thus in mind and heart, and was drawing from its sheath his great sword, Athene came from heaven, sent forth of the goddess white-armed Hera, for in her heart she loved them both alike and had care of them. She took her stand behind him, and caught the son of Peleus by his golden hair, making herself to be seen of him alone, and of the rest no men behold her. And Achilles was seized with wonder, and turned him about, and forthwith knew Pallas Athene, and terribly did her eyes flash. Then he spake to her with winged words, and said, Why now art thou come again, daughter of Zeus, who beareth the aegis? Was it that thou mightest see the insolence of Agamemnon, son of Atreus? Nay, I will tell thee. Methinks this shall verily be brought to pass. Through his own overweening pride shall he presently lose his life. Then the goddess, flashing-eyed Athene, answered to him, To say thine anger is so be thou wilt hearken. Did I come from heaven, and the goddess, white-armed Hera, sent me forth, for in her heart she loves you both alike, and hath care of you. Nay, come, cease from strife, and let not thy hand draw the sword. With words indeed do thou taunt him, even as it shall be. For thus will I speak, and verily this thing shall be brought to pass. Hereafter shall glorious gifts, thrice and 4 times as many, be brought to thee by reason of this despite. Refrain thou, therefore, and hearken unto us. Then, in answer to her, spake Achilles, swift of foot, Needs must a man goddess observe the words of you twain, how wroth soever he be at heart, for so it is it better. Whoso obeys the gods, to him do they gladly give ear. He spake, and stayed his heavy hand on the silver hilt, and back into its sheath thrust the great sword, and disobeyed not the word of Athene. But she was forthwith gone to Olympus, to the palace of Zeus, who beareth the Aegis, to join the company of the other gods. But the son of Peleus again addressed with violent words the son of Atreus, and in no wise ceased from his wrath. Thou heavy with wine, thou with the front of a dog, but the heart of a deer. Never hast thou had courage to arm thee for battle with thy folk, or go forth to an ambush with the chiefs of the Achaeans. I'm going to pause and see if there's chapters. It's getting pretty long. I don't know how many minutes I'm in, but it's kind of wondering if I'll get a break here, if it's just one long book, no chapters. I don't believe this is Greek. It looks maybe more like Latin. Maybe, I have no idea though. There's definitely some Greek letters in there though. But I'm not seeing any chapters. At least not for a while. Where was I? But yeah, we're going to get back there. I mean, where was I? I'm going to have to put this on pause. I'll find it. We'll get right back to it. All right. We are back. I found the spot in the book where I took a break to go see where the chapters were. And there's no chapters. So I'm going to just take another quick break here. And I'm going to get some food. So just 1 second here. And we're back just like that. Pretty great. I can just pause it and come right back to it. You know, I got some food, so I can have a little snack while I read. Let's get back into it. Here we go. The Iliad. That seemeth to thee even as death. In sooth, it is better far throughout the wide camp of the Achaeans to take for thyself the prize of him whosoever speaketh contrary to thee. Folk devouring king, seeing thou rulest over men of naught, else son of Atreus, wouldest thou now work insolence for the last time? But I will declare my word to thee, and will swear thereto a mighty oath. Verily by the staff, it shall no more put forth leaves or shoots, since at the first it left its stump among the mountains. Neither shall it again grow green, for that the bronze hath stripped it of leaves and bark. And now the sons of the Achaeans that give judgment, bear it in their hands, even that they guard the dooms by ordinance of Zeus. I gotta get some water. Alright, here we go. Sorry about all this. And this shall be for thee a mighty oath. Verily shall a longing for Achilles some day came upon the sons of the Achaeans, one and all, and in that day shalt thou in no wise be able to help for them all thy grief, when many shall fall in death before man slain Hector. But thou shalt gnaw thy heart within thee, and wrath that thou didst honor with wit the best of the Achaeans. So spake the son of Peleus, and down to the earth he dashed a staff studded with gold nails, and himself sate him down. While over against him the son of Atreus continued to vent his wrath. Then among them uprose Nestor, sweet of speech, the clear-voiced orator of the men of Pylos, he from whose tongue flowed speech sweeter than honey. 2 generations of mortal men had he ere now seen pass away, who of old had been born and reared with him in sacred Pylos, and he was king among the third. He with good intent, whoever that is, he with good intent. Addressed the gathering and spake among them. Fie upon you! In good sooth his great grief come upon the land of Achaea. Priam verily would rejoice, and the sons of Priam and the rest of the Trojans would be right glad at heart were they to hear all this tale of this strife of you twain, who are chiefest of all the Danaans in council and chiefest in war. Nay, hearken unto me. Ye are both younger than I. Ere now have I consorted with warriors that were better than men than ye. Oh, we're still going. Okay. Yeah. Let's just say, nay, hearken unto me. Ye are both younger than I. Ere now have I consorted with warriors that were better than men than ye, and never did they set me at naught. Such warriors have I ever seen, nor shall see, if Patroclus was and Dryas, shepherd of the hosts, and Canis, and Exadius, and godlike Polyphemus, and Theseus, son of Aegeus, peer of the immortals. Mightiest were these of all men reared upon the earth. Mightiest were they, and with the mightiest did they fight. Even with the centaurs that had their lairs among the mountains, and in terrible wise did they destroy them. With these men I had fellowship. When I had come from Pylos, from afar, from a distant, and for the of themselves they called me. And in fight I took my part as mine own man. But with them could no man fight of all mortals that now are upon the earth. Aye, and they hearkened to my counsel, and gave ear to my words. Even so do ye also hearken, for to hearken is better. Neither do thou, mighty though thou art, seek to take from him the girl, but let her be even as at the first the sons of the Achaeans gave him her as a prize. Nor do thou, son of Peleus, be minded to strive with of the Lepiths, was to strive with a king might against might, for it is no common honor that is the portion of a sceptred king, to whom Zeus giveth glory. But thou be valiant, and a goddess mother bear thee. Yet he is the mightier, seeing he is king over more. Son of Atreus, do thy check thy rage? Nay, even I beg thee to let go thine anger against Achilles, who is far all the Achaeans a mighty bulwark of evil war. Then in answer to him spake Lord Agamemnon, Yea, verily, old sire, all this hast thou spoken to according to right. But this man is minded to be above all others, over all. He is minded to hold sway and be king among all, and to all give orders, wherein there is one, methinks, that will not obey him. If the gods that are for ever made him a warrior, do they therefore set him on to utter revilings? Then godly Achilles brake in upon him, and said, Aye, for I should bear the name of a coward and man of naught, if I am to yield to thee in every matter howsoever thou bid. On others lay thou these commands, but give no orders to me. For methinks I shall obey thee no more. And another thing will I tell thee, and do thy lay it to heart. By might of hand will I strive for the girl's sake, neither for thee nor with any other, seeing ye do but take away yet what ye gave. But of all else that is mine by my swift black ship shalt thou take or bear away not in my despite. Nay, come, make trial, that these two may know. Forthwith shall thy dark blood flow forth about my spear. So when the twain had made an ending of contending, with violent words they rose and broke up the gathering beside the ship of the Achaeans. The son of Peleus went his way to his huts and his shapely ships, together with the son of Menaidas and with his men. But the son of Atreus let launch a swift ship on the sea, and chose therefore 20 rowers, and drave on board a hecatomb for the gods, and brought the fair-cheeked daughter of Chryses, and set her in the ship. And Odysseus of many wiles went on board to take command. And we're gonna stop for now. That's all we got. I'll come back and